Today, I'm going to show you how to get rid of this kickstand off of your hood by installing hood struts. Stay tuned.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Greatly appreciate you stopping by. Today, I'm gonna put in what I think is one of my better presents for Christmas, is my hood struts for my Boss 302 S197 2013 Mustang. This is what you'll get in the box. You'll get the hood struts. There's the first one, and there's the second one from Ford Performance. You'll get both brackets, one for the driver's side, one for the passenger side, hood hinge. And then please, if you get this kit, make sure you don't make the same mistake I did and throw away. You look and you're like, oh, that's it, and toss it in the trash because you weren't paying attention. I did it and I had to buy a second set. There are the fender mounts. So there's one, dig around, there's a second one. They didn't put them in baggies, so I didn't see baggies, and I tossed everything and wasn't looking. I was more worried about family stuff at the time. And there also is a bolt for the early S197 owners, 05 to 09 guys. This is a relocation bolt you're gonna need. You will also get in there is a card from Ford Performance Parts. It has all the warnings and great stuff and where you can get the instruction sheet, but you'll go ahead and scan this code. I will also put a link to the instructions in the description below, so you can get to that. So, without further ado, let's get on over and get these installed.
All right, first things first, you're gonna take your 10 millimeter with your extension and socket. We're gonna take off the sound tube bolt because we gotta do some modifications per Ford manual. So we're gonna go ahead and loosen that. Bolt will come out. Next thing you're gonna need to do, go ahead and get a screwdriver underneath this little metal brass washer, brass bushing. Just give it a little bit of a pull. It should come right out just like that. Once you get the bushing out, you're gonna go ahead and pull down, and this will be out. We'll take this over to the bench and we're gonna modify this. We're gonna go ahead and cut a 1/2 inch out of this, and I just looked. These little marks on the sides are good reference marks, so we're gonna go ahead and cut from here across, and then we'll cut from this one across. Now we have two pieces. Let's go back over and we'll relocate this. Now that it's modified, you'll need to pull this clip here by lifting up with a flathead screwdriver. Just pry up, this will come right off. Now we're gonna take our modified mount, we're gonna mount it, we're gonna flip it over per Ford's instructions. This piece goes here. Take your bushing you took out earlier. We're gonna go ahead and insert it upside from underneath. Now that the bushing's in, what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna take the other half, and we're gonna put that in. So it goes in, put that down underneath. That goes right there, line up the hole. Now, something I did do, you'll see there's electrical tape on here. I'm gonna take you over to the bench. This is a way to keep from messing up the paint whenever you tighten it down. So I'll take you over to the bench now and show you how I did this. Now I showed you how to do that. Take your bolt, drop it in. Take your fender nut, stick it up underneath, get it started. Take your socket, continue to tighten, then add the ratchet, and tighten it the rest of the way. That's how you modify this sound tube. Now let's move on to install of the hood struts. First thing, we will put the fender mount bracket on. We will be putting it underneath this bolt. So we'll go ahead and take that off now. You will need your 10 millimeter socket, extension, and ratchet. And something I like to do is take a little piece of electrical tape, stick it over the top, and this keeps from damaging the paint. I'm not saying it's a complete fix, but it helps a lot. Just like that, just got tape residue. Now we will put our bracket on. Put the bolt back in and just snug it down. And that's tight enough. Now that the fender bracket's snug down, we will be installing the hood hinge bracket here to hold the other end. These are labeled. Right here you will see a D standing for driver's side, and they will be put in this orientation. So we'll start loosening the lower bolt. That one was really tight, but now we got it broke loose. We'll slide the bracket right on in here. Now you'll see this towel here. I put this towel in underneath the back of here, and we got to pull this bolt as well. So when you pull this bolt, this hood has a tendency to want to fall. I don't want to have the corner of the hood here hit into the plastic and possibly chip the paint, break the plastic. So I put a towel in there so if it does fall, it's got some kind of cushion and it doesn't do a bunch of damage. Now that we got that piece in, we gotta pull this one all the way. Good, swing this up, line up the hole again, put the bolt back in, and just snug them down. Pull the tape off the one that exists. I didn't really worry about this one because the paint was so tight that the socket actually tore it up just getting it on. So I kind of, you can't save every one of them, but we can try to save as much as we can. This has just got residue as usual. After undoing the hose from the clips, the passenger side works a little bit different than the driver's side because all you got to do is just,
And it's done.
we have our gas strut, and looking at it, we've got an issue. There's no orientation that this will mount as the Ford directions say. Ford wants this logo. This is upside down. Ford wants the logo just like this, fat side up. This hooks to here, but we're backwards. I have seen people install them this way, and you could use the other shock and it'd be right side up. Then you can't see where it really says Ford Performance from the side, really. I did a little bit of studying, and I had come up with a couple different ways to fix this. So I'm gonna take you over to the bench, and I'll show you how I did that. As we walk back over to the bench so I can show you how to fix this issue, please hit the like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment down in the comments section of if you run into small issues like this that don't seem to come up in the directions. Greatly appreciate it.
All right, so in the case of the S197 Mustang 05 to 2014, this is the incorrect orientation of the mount in relation to the logo. So how do you fix that? I think the way that is the most common way of fixing it, take off the mount off of this one, take the other one, take the mount off of it, take this one, put it on the mount you just took off the other side, and look at that. There's the logo. Now we're looking at the back side of the mount. Go over to the other one, put it on, same thing. Here's the back of the mount. Oh, look at that. There's the writing. You can't see the hole. It's in the opposite orientation, which is correct for the S197. So now, if that does not work for you, you can take that back off, and right here, you can actually file into this with any standard file or a piece of sandpaper, and then just keep test fitting it until it is in this orientation here. So let's go ahead and continue putting these on.
All right, now that I showed you how to fix that issue, we can go ahead and install these properly. Now you can see, logo correct, ball in the correct orientation. That one clips on there. That one clips on there. Passenger side, once again, it's finished. As you can see, no more kickstand holding my hood up. Struts work good. Hold up. I will say the only issue I have with them is it did lower it down just a little bit. So when you're putting the struts on, you will need to pull the hood prop. I call it a kickstand, but it's a hood prop. And then have somebody connect each side is the best way to do it. I was able to do it on my own with a little bit of finagling. So, I greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to leave you in the same fashion we started this video.